Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Gotta watch my hands. Right now. Matter of fact, the first of, I ain't gonna say the first video, but I just made a video by telling my viewers how much I'm grateful for them, interacting and watching my page, and I always tell y'all, if y'all got any type of questions or anything, any type of subject y'all want me to touch, just put in the comments, and I'm gonna try my best. Cause once stuff start rolling even harder, and I start getting a lot of questions, I won't be able to answer everything and make a video about everything, but I will try my best. And this one right here, a guy commented on one of my videos, a guy, female, somebody commented on one of my videos and asked about how can you keep your mind quiet during meditation. You're like, man, that is, that's so hard. So I share, what I do and the things that I've been taught and learned, to keep my mind quiet, First off, you gotta always, make sure you're in, right posture, You're not straining your body, things of this nature. Because I remember when I first started meditating, whenever I be uncomfortable, matter of fact, especially when I first trying it out to sit in that lotus position, because I still sit in a half lotus. I don't sit with my both feet fully on my thighs, like I still, and I'm a Capricorn, our knees and bones bad. I'm not blaming it on that, but but basically, I'm sitting down in the half lotus, and when you're uncomfortable, all of a sudden, I'll be uncomfortable a little bit, and then, then the mind will start racing them thoughts and stuff like, oh, come on, sit right, man, what you doing? This and that, and I'm like, damn. It starts just coming out of nowhere, and I try to make my position right. But over time I realize the more I'm comfortable, the less noise I hear. The less my brain, picking with me and messing up that quietness. So one of the important things would be, I would say, is posture, making sure you're comfortable. If you can't sit down in a half lotus, then, you could meditate in a chair. Where sometimes they tell you to sit down and pick your one leg up, But however, you could put it, sit with one leg, crossed. Because with that lotus position, it is a sort of balance, balancing your energies, Because, say for instance, like with receiving energy, whichever hand is not your dominant hand, you receive energy with, and the other one you give it out. So it's like a flow of energy, And by crossing your legs and things of that nature, it's keeping it balanced, But you could, try sitting down, whatever makes you happy, as long as your back's straight too, for sure. But, I know posture has a lot to do with, keeping that quietness in the mind. Also, breathing, Make sure you're doing your breathing right, which they have different techniques and methods of breathing depending on what type of meditation you're doing. I'm been following the examples of cryo yoga, which cryo yoga, for the most part, you gotta get it initiated into it. But I ended up finding a PDF, Luckily, PDF kind of walking you through the simple steps, like kind of getting that ball rolling, Where, helping you to visualize the chakras, and keep your breathing right. But, make sure your breathing is right, You want to, inhale through the nose and bringing it down and breathing with your diaphragm. So when you're breathing in with your nose, you should see your stomach, push out, not your chest, But you bring that up to the stomach, and then you push it out. And you want to do that in a timely manner to where you inhaling and exhaling on the same amount of seconds. So like, say for instance, I'm probably hold for about 4, 6, and then the exhale is so much amount of time. In which, explaining, different strokes for different folks. Because sometimes I do that. Sometimes I kind of like, in essence, hold my breath the longest I can, but without straining myself. Because also, you know, you messing yourself up by straining and becoming uncomfortable, you know. Because as a thing, you want to be as comfortable and as still as possible. So you just want to, you know, that's why you got to get in a comfortable position, because you want to get in a position that you're not, you know, provoked to move, you know what I'm saying, where you're comfortable, where you don't feel like, all right, let me fix my leg, or hold on, my arm not straight. You know, find a perfect position, you know, as perfect as it could be for you, you know what I'm saying? So making sure that breathing is right, and also, you know, to add to just the meditation situation in general, you want to be looking up at the seat of your soul. You want to be looking up towards the third eye, towards the pineal gland, or basically towards this area. You know, so you want to be like, you know, you look like the Undertaker off of wrestling, but really, you know, focusing on your pineal, because when you're doing that and you're breathing in that prana, that press right there with your eyes focused right there, does something to the energy, you know, and passing it down and passing it through your pranic tube in the spine. But, you know, that stillness, so basically breathing, well, posture and breathing, you know. Posture and breathing techniques, you know, you need to have that, you know, to keep that quiet mind. Because like I say, if you're not comfortable, that mind go to start racing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not breathing right, you know, that mind will go to racing. Another thing that helped me keep my mind quiet, especially when I first started off, is instead of just trying to sit there still with my mind quiet, I would do ohms. Like I would and let the vibration, matter of fact, you want to make sure you're getting that good vibration when you're making it, because you can feel the vibration of that Om getting to all that water in the body, you know what I'm saying? People check out cinematics and things of that nature. You know, water takes on the shapes of the vibrations that's around it, that's given off to it, and they make beautiful little shapes, you know, sometimes sacred geometrical shapes. But, you know, but with that, you know, with that Om, you know, with sounding out that Om, not only is giving that vibration, but it kind of stops you, or put like this, or it basically puts a fork, how can I say, it gets in the way of your brain making noise and popping up ideas. Because when you, my brain can't even, you know, pop nothing out on me. Now, and this is the thing too, though. How strong is your ego? How much you been feeding your ego? You know, because a lot of people struggle with this because, you know, our ego so well fed and stuff like that, that, you know, our existence all our life been brain racing, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, you know, to my people that's just super, you know, where your brain is just super racing, it just takes time too. It takes repetition, you know what I'm saying? Because what you're used to is your brain always talking, you know what I'm saying? Your brain is always just, yeah. So it's hard to, you know, it takes time to get from that place, you know what I'm saying? Where your brain is just always yapping. So like I said, with that Om kind of like makes it to where your brain can't get past it, because that your brain is being occupied by delivering that Om, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for you to think about the bills that you got to pay and what happened today at work when you're doing the Om, you know what I'm saying? So that Om kind of helps too. Also, paying attention to diet. Your diet, you know, is, back again, different strokes for different folks, but for sure, you know, it does help when you're eating foods, electric foods that have a lot of water in it, you know what I'm saying? Alkalizing foods with high alkalinity levels, you know? Because I always notice whenever I'm always eating good, you know, I stay away from the bad stuff, you know, bad as much as possible, you know what I'm saying? I stay away from acidic foods, things of this nature. But also, though, just keeping it real, I do have, like right now in this process, I do have like where I binge on coffee for like a couple of days, you know, and coffee is super acidic. But also it's being conscious of what I'm eating, you know. I know, hey, I'm drinking this coffee that's going to make me super acidic. I should drink some rooibos and yerba mate tea right after, and I should make sure I meditate to make sure I clear my mind, you know, and I should sweat it out, you know. I should do a couple of push-ups and, you know, get it. So when I do eat things that are unhealthy, you know, partake in things that are unhealthy, I make sure I'm almost right in recovery mode, fighting it just as soon as I consume it. you know. But, you know, your diet could also affect, you know, the thoughts in the brain, because it's a fact that some foods release this chemical as a stress creating chemical in your brain. So whenever, you know, you're eating certain foods or whatever, it's kicking that chemical in your brain, and you start becoming pessimistic, or you may have trouble controlling your thoughts, things of this nature. So always look into your diets, and too, you know, if you're trying to keep that brain quiet during meditation. I also said stillness, and also visualizations. Sometimes I'll be talking like I'm dyslexic. Visualizations. Yeah. But anyway, you know, having visualizations is good, you know what I'm saying? Because it also eliminates that talking and stuff, you know, that left brain, that logic, you know, that's yap, analyze, numbers, this, that, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's that logic side, you know, that the words and all that, you know. So what I do is I'll visualize, because matter of fact, a part of some of your meditations, you're going to have to visualize. So like you visualize going through each chakra, you know, and as I'm doing that, my brain doesn't even have the power to throw thoughts at me while I'm visualizing my chakras, you know. And which I say to each his own. I'm not saying it's for sure, once you start visualizing, nope, you ain't going to have no more. Like I say, different strokes for different folks. Some of us, you know, so far along, and some of us wired different. You know, we all, you know, that's the uniqueness to our carbon body. You know, we wired different. We're all one, but, you know, within our little physical carbon suit and dealing with the vibrations of our zodiac and astrology, you know, we all wired different. But the visualizations with that right brain, you know, that feminine side of the brain, that imagination, you know, that take away the words, you know, you visualizing your chakras, you know, it's hard for your brain to throw little, oh, the bills ain't paid. Oh, that girl was fine that walked in the store the other day. Oh, man, this and that, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, and also taking time, you know, like, cause, now for one, like say for instance, if I'm meditating right after work, starting right at the beginning, oh yeah, like, and it, like I say, repetition. Because from coming from that type of situation, your brain ready to be like, oh man, this and that happened. Just running, basically just going through everything that your day consisted of. You know, your brain just rambling about it. But, you know, matter of fact, that's what staying conscious, because when you're conscious and always doing mantras, you're always keeping your brain in check. You know what I'm saying? Which that's why I keep myself fit. You know what I'm saying? I try to always be saying my mantras like, I am one with source, I am unconditional love, I am heart, I'm now, I'm one with everything. So keeping that in mind, you know, I know I'm always ready for meditation and ready to clear my mind and things of this nature, because I'm always in that mode of knowing, getting away from my old self and getting that brain quiet. And when I start to meditate, like say for instance after work, oh yeah, it'll be like, oh man, I forgot to put up this. I forgot to do this. Oh man, that customer show was crazy. You know, and I'm not trying to think of this, you know, that's just, you know, that brain doing what it's used to, you know what I'm saying? Going with repetition of its own, you know, the first 20 years of our life or however until you stop that shit, you know what I'm saying? The first few years of your life, you built rambling and all that with those thoughts. So, you know, so basically, you know, it's that visualization that'll, you know, help get you away from it, you know, because that rambling will start, and I just kind of just stay and letting the rambling go. Like, don't try to fight it. The more you try to fight it, now you just create a boxing match between your spirit and your ego, and it's like ding, ding, ding. Cause I done had that experience, and I just had to. I was about to curse. I just had to like F it. Like I'm not gonna meditate right now, cause it just became too much of a battle. And another thing too is observing your ego instead of fighting it and looking at it, you know, as yourself. Like, you know, if the brain and the ego go to just yapping, just stand back and say, just look, just observe. As a matter of fact, what's funny, when you start watching your ego, it's almost like watching somebody that's trying to hide doing something. It's like when you get quiet and you watch it, it's like all of a sudden I get quiet. It's like it's almost like it just want to say shit to fuck you up. Your ego is trying to keep you from, you know, from heightening yourself spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Your ego trying to keep you, you know, worshiping your body and your lower nature, you know what I'm saying? Maya or the devil, quote unquote, you know, it's trying to keep you in that lower nature in your 666 bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? Which that's where people who treat the devil bad or the 666 bad, that's where it come from, you know what I'm saying? Just that, you know, you gotta overpower that urge, you know, that ego, that brain, you know. So observing, you know, being that observing spirit where you see yourself as a spirit, as, you know, as one with God, and you just kind of like, and you don't even talk, you know, you just like looking and just laughing, like. And the more you kind of just observe and look at your ego, just trying to throw them thoughts out, the quieter it gets, and you just see yourself falling into quietness. And another thing, repetition and time, you know, if it's seeming like it's hard for you to get in that quiet zone, it may take more than just 10 minutes of meditation. You may have to sit there 10 minutes longer, you know, because it's all about repetition. You got to get your brain used to that quietness. Because once your brain get used to that quietness, then, you know, then that's what your brain is going to be used to. Because that's where I'm at now, is getting my brain used to that quietness. Like, and there's different ways to practice it. You know, matter of fact, I remember first off, too, with my meditation, which this is not good, but it kind of helped me, was like breathing and just holding my breath sometimes as long as I could, but without holding it as long as possible, but without having to be like on some exhale, like, and coming out of it, but, you know, like, and holding it as long as possible. Because, too, you know, for that short period of lack of oxygen and, you know, and holding your breath, you know, it kind of like stops your brain. Your brain can't throw nothing out when, you know, when it's not getting that oxygen, which, you know, you could see it like, yeah, that is a borderline bad thing, you know, is not getting oxygen. But how the way I would do it is like I visualize myself being the being that I was before I was in this carbon suit. So I would just look at it as not a lack of oxygen, but just, you know, like, all right, I got enough of pranic energy, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to just go off of that, you know, as long as I can, you know, without damaging myself. Because like I say, I hold it as long as I can without having to, like I'm half dying, you know, exhaling like I'm half dying, you know, just hold it as long as possible without having to break position and, you know, an exhale or inhale like you're dying, you know. Like, take your time. And it's all about calmness, like. And the more you calm, the more, you know, smoother things get. It just becomes quiet. And everything will get like this. And you get like the ocean. Imagine yourself being like the ocean, you know, within the ocean. You know how you see all these waves and all that cutting up, but then within the ocean it's quiet, just like your body. Imagine yourself being that ocean and you just get into that quiet zone. So sometimes in some meditation to tell you do that, imagine being in your heart or being within your body. And like I say, yeah, it's hard, but it comes with practice, repetition, you know what I'm saying? Eating healthy, you know, using crystals, you know, crystals is a good thing to use. You know, some crystals help you get into those theta states, you know, binaural beats, you know what I'm saying? Binaurals. You know, that's how I first started on my meditation. I know you're not really supposed to add technology to your meditation, but like I say, different strokes for different folks, you know, and in this Babylon world, you know, I use whatever my intuition is comfortable with, you know, and at that moment I was comfortable with that. That helped me a lot, you know, and now at this point I don't use it when I meditate no more. Now I just listen to it when I'm just out doing anything, you know, and I put on some binaurals to get that, you know, that crown chakra resonance or whatever the case may be. But, you know, that's another, you know, help, you know, to get those binaurals, because it tunes your brain into a certain wavelength, you know, like theta. Theta is one of like the deep trance, like, you know what I'm saying, like quietness, you know. And there's different, you know, different wavelengths, you know, different vibrations, or should I say frequencies or hertz that, you know, that the brain could get on and have it like, you know, on some relaxing, you know, relaxing type of thing. But that's, you know, all I have for that situation, you know. Hopefully I help, you know, help you with understanding, you know, how to get that brain quiet. Because also I have saw, like, you know, I have seen like different selections, even from a yogi, you know, Well, he was like, there's no such thing as getting your brain quiet. And I was like, oh shit, that's, you know, that's something, you know, coming from a yogi. But I mean, but at the same time, I felt like from my experience, I think that it's just so hard that, you know, you could find it, it would seem impossible. But, you know, that's another thing too. You know, I'm a God, you know, nothing is impossible to me, you know. Nothing is, I am limitless, like the movie. I'm like Lucy. Nothing is impossible. I am limitless. So I'm not going to really sit there and say I can't, you know, for a lot of things. Even if it may seem like I quote unquote can't, which I don't even know what that word is. It doesn't exist. But, you know, I won't say it. I'm going to try, you know, and see what's up before I use some vocabulary of that nature, you know. I'm not going to say that word. I'm going to try first, you know. And that's what happened with me, you know, like I tried. And, yeah, it's very hard. You know, you have moments where stuff going to pop up at you. But, you know, you just got to practice repetition because you can't get your mind quiet. You know, and say, for instance, with what he's saying, to add to what he's saying, maybe, you know, because I do find it hard to do for just periods and periods of time. But like I say, when you add the aspects of being comfortable, breathing, visualizations, good dieting, I had stints where I kept my mind quiet, like, well, nothing would pop up unless I say, hey, this is what, you know, I need to do, you know, whatever. But, you know, but in the course of the day, for sure, it's very, you know, it'll be very hard. But like when you're sitting down in your chair, you're comfortable, you got an incense going, this and that, you could really just sit down and just. Also, another pointer before I leave, because I just did it just now, that's all I had to say it. It's when you start getting that pineal gland open and, you know, that kundalini rays, you start getting that heightened extrasensory perception, you know what I'm saying? You'll start hearing the vibrations almost like a dog, how they say like a dog could hit them little, like them low vibe, them high-pitched vibrations. Well, like, you'll start getting like that. So another thing, too, is you can focus on that, like that little, you know, little vibration that you're feeling. Yeah, a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, like, say, for instance, you could kind of hear that type of vibration. Say, for instance, if you're in a house, you're not in the room where the TV at, but you could kind of hear the vibration of the TV. You can't hear the words or nothing, but you could just tell that a TV is on. Like I've been like that since a little kid. Before I could walk into somebody's house, I could tell whether a television was on or not, you know. And looking back at that, that's how I knew I was an indigo kid, you know, because I just been having these type of abilities and powers. But you can't tell nobody that you got this type of shit because you could be seen as crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Louisiana in the South. Like, oh. But anyway, you know, just, you know, you could always latch on to that little vibration that kind of help to keep your mind quiet also. But hope I help with, you know, the information from my experiences and what I've learned, you know. But just practice and repetition, and eventually you'll be able to get there. But happy now. Deuces, which stand for peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right to now. Right now. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Peace.